It's America's Red Clay Championships in Florida, and the Woodies are having a night they'd rather forget. The crowd is behind the local boys, a couple of trendily dressed show ponies, Luke and Murphy Jensen. And the very, very conventional Woodies don't like it one bit.
I think Todd and I are traditional type. I mean, you don't see us high-fiving each other, you don't see us chesting each other when we've won a point, you don't see us hitting each other's rackets. We just don't do that. I don't think that's us. It's not the Woodies.
What the Woodies are winners. And despite not looking like it for much of this match, they came from behind and won. Much to the relief of coach Ray Ruffles and the rest of the entourage in the stands. The Woodies are on their way to another final. You had me worried. I was terrified. Huh?
So weird.
Oh.
He's a nervous watcher.
Natasha Woodbridge, Todd's wife, has endured so many tight matches she can laugh them off. For some, though, it's not so easy.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm actually out there making the mistakes and not actually
It's hell up
watching
there.
them.
It is absolute hell.
Welcome to the tour.
As the #1 doubles team in the world, the Woodies' participation in this tournament is a major draw card. And so, a promoter's Mercedes for Mark, it's the least you'd expect.
Is that polo club over there private?
I think that really horrible building is the polo club. It's supposed to be where Graf and Everett Lloyd live.
Not that Mark and girlfriend Erin are envious.
I can't imagine that.
They have homes in Adelaide, Palm Springs and Monte Carlo. What makes the high life possible for the Woodies, what makes them such a successful combination, is that they're so different. Mark, at 30, is a tour veteran. Todd's only 25. Mark is patient. Todd, impetuous. Mark is left-handed. Todd, right. What comes first? Are you business partners first or mates first or what?
When it's a tournament, and especially a major tournament, well then we're business partners. Because if we don't perform well together, our business doesn't run very well, and the bills don't get paid as well, and all that type of stuff. And then once we finish that, we're good friends and we enjoy each other's company and we like to do things together.
We're mates. I wouldn't play with someone that I didn't get along with off the court, on and off the court. We just have a great relationship.
Oh! Went for my head.
It is true, these guys genuinely enjoy each other's company. In private life, though, this doubles team is very much a foursome. With Todd's wife, Natasha,
Tash, don't let us down.
and American-born Erin, who's more at home with the local sport, it seems, than the Australian vernacular.
What's he like as a mate?
As a what?
I beg your pardon.
I didn't
Australian
hear you.
terminology.
As a what?
A bloke?
A bloke, yeah.
Natasha Woodbridge has adapted easily to life on the circuit. It's not always swank restaurants, the rich and the beautiful, but just most of the time.
Paris next week, huh?
Paris next week?
What stores do you have in mind?
Oh, Chanel. No. Actually meeting up with my mum.
Not half.
Only joking. No spending in Europe.
She is only joking.
I am only
Yeah, she's only
joking.
joking.
The early careers of the Woodies were as different as their playing styles. Todd was picked for an Australian side when he was only 12. He was a product of the Institute of Sport and turned professional at 16. Mark, however, did it much harder.
You know, I had to start from zero. I mean, I wasn't good enough to be picked in any Australian teams when I first began travelling. My parents paid for my trips overseas out of their own pocket at great expense, and fortunately I've been able to pay them back more than enough times, I think.
As a doubles player, Mark was largely unknown on the tour until a player called McEnroe picked him out as a partner.
I played him twice leading up to the US Open. I think it was in '88, and I'd beaten him, and which was, for me, I mean, huge. And I sort of said to the tour manager, I've beaten him twice, tell him that I'll play with him. And just as a joke, and the next day I was at the courts, had warmed up, and he turned up. I just got out of the shower, I was naked, toweling myself down, and he came up to me like nose to nose and said, "So, just because you beat me twice, you think you're bloody well good enough to play with me now?" So it turned out to be very successful, and I learned a tremendous amount. I mean, I can thank him for helping me become one of the premier doubles players of today.
Okay. Did they give you an update?
When McEnroe stopped playing doubles, he suggested to Mark the right thing to do would be to find a young Australian as a partner this time. Woodford found Woodbridge, and the Woodies had arrived.
The first year we played together, within 3 weeks we were in the semis of the Australian Open, and by the fourth tournament we'd won a tournament, so it worked pretty quickly.
Go the Woodies!
Now winning tournaments is expected of them. If it's not the singles, it will be the mixed doubles. And if it's not the mixed, then certainly the men's.
This is double match point. He's got it, it's in. So Woodbridge and Woodford have their 35th doubles title.
Todd, congratulations, mate.
Thanks,
I was a
Richard.
lot more relaxed tonight than last night.
Yeah, thanks.
Well
Was
done,
that
mate.
you catcalling? Was that you catcalling?
Well, who was whistling?
Thanks for the support.
If you're any good at it, it's not a bad business, this tennis.
Another potpourri bowl.
For this week's work, Mark and Todd have picked up $20,000, and that's for doing what they love.
No, don't you dare!
The end of the tournament means a couple of days off at home for Todd and Natasha. They live in an exclusive compound in Florida, walled off from all but residents and their guests.
It's certainly very nice.
Yeah, we've done, I keep saying we've done fairly well. We've done very well for ourselves. That on our right, that's the golf clubhouse.
Oh, is it?
It's not just a large house, that one. That's got restaurants and the gym and various other things in there.
So what sort of people are in here, besides sportsmen like yourself?
There is all sorts of people in here. There are actors. Wesley Snipes has a home further down here. Shaquille O'Neal lives in here, so there's the sports side.
I see. Oh, he's got that big. Goodness gracious.
It's also a home for a number of other Australian expatriate sportsmen.
If I knew it was dress up, I would have dressed up.
Here, if friends drop by, it's likely to be golfer Craig Parry or fellow tennis player Jason Stoltenberg.
You're moving back to Perth?
Well, when you give it away?
No, that's next year. The end of this year, moving back.
Are you?
The Woodies earned more than $1 million each last year, and their lifestyles reflect it.
Ah, this is what you call your potpourri bowls.
Yeah, but these are the really good potpourri bowls, these ones.
Right, which are they?
This one here is the 1992 World Championships, and down here is the US Open men's from last year.
What are these ones up the top?
And they're the good ones, they're the Wimbledon ones.
Oh, I see, as they call it, the gentleman's doubles.
Yeah, Mark and I are true gentlemen.
The pair considers Wimbledon the tournament to win. And for the last 3 years, the Wimbledon doubles title has been theirs.
He's got it.
And they've done it. Set match. Woodbridge Woodford, 3 sets to love. 7-5, 7-6.
If they win this year, they will be the first team in history with 4 in a row.
I think winning Wimbledon doubles was the most memorable thing I could ever have thought of that happened. I mean, winning the last point there, it's like achieving the peak of what you could possibly hope for.
What do you think about the young fellas?
Well, they're not youngsters anymore, but they certainly are mature. Mark Woodford has certainly come great strides.
High praise indeed, coming from one of the all-time greats, Rod Laver.
Of course, Todd Woodbridge has got such fluent style, and we always thought he was the Rose Wall of the new era with his great backhand and his beautiful ability to get to the shots. You know, they just have a great sense of where to be in doubles and how to play it. They know each other's games, and of course when you cut the errors out and the speed that these fellas are hitting the ball, you've got a big edge in doubles.
In tennis, attitude is sometimes as important as ability. If you're successful, there's the celebrity status to cope with, not to mention the extraordinary sums of money. But the smart players know it can't last forever.
I mean, it's not going to be all travelling around the world in style, first class, or having someone pick you up or pick your bags up for you, or remembering who you are while you're the #1 seed in a tournament. It's not going to be like that forever. So I'll enjoy it while I can, but it's going to be finishing. So hopefully not too soon. But it will end, and then I'll have to make a new life, so to speak.
When you're serving and your serve's right on, how close to where you want it to bounce does the ball land?
Probably say within a square foot of where we try to aim.
Okay, let me draw a square and the court just back there, and you put a ball in it.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem. I hope. How big
Well, there were some problems.
No.
But where there's a will, there's a way. In Todd's case, it meant eventually tapping the ball in from just a few metres away and getting caught up.
Can you put that in there? Put it in.
Hello, I'm Liam Bartlett. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.